Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 10 of Guilds Only. Today I'm here in the Champions Guild emptying out some inventory, so I don't think I'm going to get much money from these, but I really need the spaces more than anything else. I can recover all these items no problem if I need them, and honestly, when it comes to the arrows, I have about 1,200 iron arrows, and from what I can find online, I think that's enough to get to level 40 ranged, which is the requirement for the guild. So I'm going to drop those bronze, clear up another space. If need be, I can go get more black knives from the Cyclops. I'd rather have the space right now. Now, to clear up one more inventory space, I want to get rid of all of these cleaned Harlanders, and the process I have for doing that is quite slow, unfortunately. So it starts out by filling up on chocolates at the Cook's Guild, then I can run all the way down to Veos, use his travel options to go to Land's End. From Land's End, I run north, or I guess I should say I walk north. This account, of course, still has one agility, so even though my weight is low, I am constantly out of run energy. But here I put on my rune full helm because I'm about to use Bodhi to travel across to the battlefront where I run through all of these lizardmen. Having that little bit of armor might keep me from getting poisoned, which can just be a little annoying. But by now, I am nearing the farming guild, and the farming guild has both a source of vials and plant cures, a source of water in the barrel, and also, of course, a chest where I can actually unnote these herbs. So the actual process of making the herbs is a little awkward, involves a lot of like dropping and juggling the components, but fortunately everything I need is right here in a small space, so it's not that bad. I just planted a cactus and I'm actually going to drop the rest of these cactus seeds. They are one of the hardest ones for me to get, but I don't think it's worth the inventory space for the experience. The next stage in my potion making is to fill up a whole inventory of water vials and then to combine all of these with the Harlanders to make unfinished Harlander potions. I can then take these all the way back to the Cook's Guild and combine them with the chocolates there. So essentially I can do the same route, but running in either direction. Once they're all made, I home teleport and then run north to the Cook's Guild. It is so much further than you think it is. It is a very long journey. But then once I'm here, I can just cut up chocolate and make some more potions. There is level 30 Herblore. I think I have just enough Highlanders left to actually get to level 31, which will be my final Herblore level for quite a while. Now that all of that is behind me, my inventory is looking much nicer. I still have some items here I plan on getting rid of. I'm just going to drop the chef's hat now. I don't need to go into the Cook's Guild in the near future. And as for these whiteberry seeds, I'm planting them in the bush patch by the Champions Guild, the classic patch that I raked for all those months. So I will slowly go through those. Actually, it won't take that many days. Bushes grow pretty quickly. So this is my account now. I stand next to an essence impling spawn, and I net it as soon as the imp appears. Uh, Not the most riveting stuff all the time, but this is the really only way for me to get reasonable numbers of runes. I can get a few from randoms, but almost entirely it has to come from these very slow respawning implings. Just one more essence imp, and I will have 45 hunter. Not a meaningful level, just a round number. This is my final whiteberry seed, so that's one more inventory space cleared up. I'm about 9,000 experience away from level 63. This is actually a medium clue step I can do. There's a coordinate dig spot inside the farming guild, so obviously the chance of this being completable is like 0, but I have to try, right? Okay. Not possible, but this is another Zaya step at least. Feel like I'm back in Twisted League. If I'm going to get a random, and it's not going to be an experience random, I would definitely prefer a maze. Mazes are excellent. I really hope I get some more iron arrows here. That'll lock up 40 range for me. Some coal, and looks like some chaos runes. Maybe some money? Hey, there's level 50 Hunter. This is many, many Implings later, as you can probably see from my rune stacks. I can now catch Eclectic Implings, which have several interesting drops. I'll notify you guys if I get any of them. Oh, hey, there's a battle staff. That's going to be my like best in slot magic equipment for when I'm actually using all of these runes, casting attack spells and stuff. I can't equip it yet. It requires 30 mage. And there's some oak planks too. I'm going to be stacking those up during the entire impling farming just to save me a ton of money and time training construction. Just one more Impling. I'll catch this young. And that will put me at 52 Hunter, which is not really a super meaningful level. It's not like it unlocks a new Impling for me or anything, but it does have the nice side effect that now I can bare hand catch Essence Impling. So if I ever lose my net and jars, I don't think I can actually get them back if I lose all of them. So I will fortunately still be able to catch Essence Impling, so I can still train Mage. Obviously, I'm going to try and hold on to these things. Let me just double check and make sure. Yeah, there we go. Bare hand essence. Obviously, I'm going to try and hold on to the net and jar so I can catch higher level implings way earlier, but at least it's not a complete disaster if I lose them now. Look at this absolute unit. It's time for me to actually begin some of my magic training. I have so many runes, figure I should go ahead and kind of get a mindset of how many more I'll need, how much experience I have right now. So my gear isn't exactly top of the line. I can't equip the battle staff yet. It requires 30 magic, as you can see in the chat box. But I'm actually going to start out by casting like curse and weaken style spells. I'm going to start with weaken. That's the highest level one I have unlocked. But then pretty quickly, since I'm starting at 13, almost 14, I'll be able to use Wind Bolt. And Wind Bolt is going to be how I get a lot of my leveling up experience. I tried to do some math and figure out what spells are most efficient to cast, but it's pretty difficult to assign like a value to each rune. However, these Earth runes are the most valuable because Essence Implings actually don't drop them. So I have a very limited number. I want to make sure I get maximum experience from those. These body runes are almost valueless, but I'm just going to start casting. We'll see where I end up. Just one more spell and I will be level 14 magic. 17 magic means I can now use Wind Bolt. Little jump forward, but there is 30 magic, so now I can actually equip this battle staff. Should make me hit much more often, and also I can beat them to death much faster. I don't like to use the spell if they don't have enough health for the max hit, because I want to try and get maximum experience. With this water bolt, I am now at level 33 magic, which is very significant. This gives me access to telekinetic grab. Now, telekinetic grab is actually kind of an integral part of this account. I'm going to need to essentially fudge the boundaries of my restrictions by leaving myself within the restriction, but acquiring some items from just outside it. So actually that Black Knight Fortress up there in the top left is where I'm going to start. The Black Knights do occasionally wander close enough for me to hit, and not only do they have a couple interesting drops, including Earth Runes, but they have a lot of health, and it's honestly nice to be able to attack something with more than 15 health. I felt the exact same way when I finally got to the Warriors Guild after training on these monks. Yeah, 42. Okay, this is going to be so much nicer. It's still not really AFK since I can't auto-cast, but at least I'm going to be able to actually attack one enemy consistently for a while and not have to hit like one airstrike and then switch to beating with the stick. This is going to be a little more comfortable. So in addition to Black Knights, I'm also going to be using Telekinetic Grab down here by the Champions Guild. So across the way from the Champions Guild, there are some cows, and so I can kill those and grab their cow hides. That's going to be my way of training low-level crafting. Uh, but then there's also over by the Fishing Guild, down here, there are some goblins outside the fishing guild, and now I can attack those with major ranged and then telekinetic grab their drops, which is actually important for me getting the Goblin Champion Scroll, which is my way of training Slayer, because I have access to the Champions Challenge and it rewards Slayer experience. Okay, sweet. There's actually 10 Earth Runes up there. That's the drop I was looking for. So this is a much nicer way for me to get Earth Runes rather than just going back and killing the man some more. That poor man's had enough. Okay, sweet. Level 40 magic means I can now cast Teleport to House, which is, of course, a pivotal spell. It's the only way I'm allowing myself to access my player-owned house. But that was also the goal of this magic training session. Now I'm going to take a little break, try out a innovative new construction training method. Okay, I lied. There's one more step before I actually do Teleport to House. So I'm not going to cast Weaken, Curse, any of these spells anymore. I think it's more valuable for me to save my Earth Runes and actually use all of them on the Teleport to House spell, which converts one Earth Rune into a bunch of experience. It's a higher level spell, and both Law Runes and Air Runes are easier for me to get. So I'm not going to use any of these body runes. They're basically valueless. I'm also going to get rid of these Guam leaves. I think getting Guams is always going to be easier than getting Eyes of Newt, so there's really no point in me holding on to the Guams, right? It's kind of painful to drop these. They've been with me for a while, but in the name of inventory space, that's just the ultimate Ironman game mode. I'm not set up for any training yet, but I just want to see it. Let's go ahead and cast Teleport to House. It's beautiful. It's a spacious, open floor plan, a very modern design. I have great plans for my house in the future. So I can't do any of the things I want to do in my house without a saw. And my only way of getting a saw on this account, which is traditionally kind of difficult for area restricted Ironmen, my only way of getting a saw for the first time is actually from the woodcutting guild in Zaya once I have significantly higher woodcutting. But at level 1 construction, there is something I can build that doesn't require a saw, the low level plant. And I can actually buy bagged plants, and then it just requires a watering can. It does not take a saw at all. So even though these aren't really useful levels, I can't actually build anything up the construction level tree since I don't have a saw still. Basically, all I can build is plants. But I figure, may as well go ahead and get these for the total levels. And, it's nice to train something that isn't just catching essence Implings. All right, I teleported back here. Let's go ahead and get our first construction experience. That's nice. And I get farming experience too. So, this is kind of a pretty advanced multi-skilling method. Um, this is prohibitively expensive, so I'm not going to do it for many levels. It's just like a waste of money. They're not useful. But there's level 2 with this plant should be level 3. Okay, sweet. So I think that's where I'm going to stop. I'll use up the rest of these, even though I actually don't have enough watering can charges. So I'll have to like low alch the other. I can't build any of the rest of these, and I mean I could if I continued training to a higher level, but again there's just no point, right? I'm not going to blow all my money buying bagged plants. I will need that later to pay for storage and all that. But anyway, I think that's going to be about the end of this episode. I know it's been quite a while since the last episode, and there's not as much progress in this one, but frankly, catching Implings is just super draining. I am not a fan of the Puro lifestyle, and that's like 24/7 what this account has to do right now, basically. So level 40 is still quite a distance away from level 66, which is my next mage milestone. So I can't guarantee the next episode will be out anytime soon, but I am working on it. It is coming. It'll be here when it gets here. And I appreciate everyone's patience, and thank you all for watching. This series is still a lot of fun for me. Bye.